Imagine waking up one morning without an alarm clock forcing you to open your eyes. The sunlight slowly enters the room, and you wake up when your body is ready, not because you have to. There's no phone buzzing next to your bed, no emails waiting for you, no one expecting you to perform or produce anything yet. You step outside barefoot. The ground feels cool. The air is clean. You can hear the wind moving through the trees and maybe some birds in the distance. There's no traffic noise, no rush, no mental pressure already building up in your head. For a moment, you just stand there and breathe. What if your life didn't have to look like everyone else's? What if you didn't have to trade the majority of your time just to afford a life you barely have time to live? What if you could actually step outside the system that most people accept without ever questioning it? This video is not about telling you to quit your job tomorrow or run away to the mountains. It's about something much more important. It's about showing you what your life could actually look like, what it could feel like if you completely escaped the system. Because deep down, many people feel it. They feel that something is missing. They feel that life wasn't supposed to feel this heavy, this rushed, this disconnected, and maybe they're right. Let's explore what that other life could actually look like. Most people live their entire lives without ever seriously questioning the way they're living. They wake up tired, even after sleeping. They rush through their morning just to get to a job that slowly drains them. They spend the best hours of their day doing work they don't truly care about, for people they don't know, just to make enough money to survive until the next month. And at the end of that month, after weeks of effort, they're left with just enough to do it all over again. They call this normal life, but is it really normal? This isn't living. This is surviving inside a system that was never designed for human peace, happiness, or freedom. The system keeps you busy enough so you don't have time to stop and think. It makes you believe that feeling stressed and exhausted all the time is just part of being an adult. It teaches you that your value comes from how productive you are and how much money you can generate. It convinces you that struggling is normal and that rest is something you have to earn. People spend years working jobs they secretly hate. They buy things they don't need to impress people they don't like. They trade their health for money, then later try to buy their health back with the money they made. They trade their time for comfort, only to realize they have almost no time left to enjoy that comfort. And the saddest part, most people accept this without question. They believe there is no other way. They think that real freedom is something you can only have after retirement, if you're lucky enough to make it there without burning out completely. The system is very good at making you feel like you're free, while actually keeping you trapped. It gives you just enough comfort and entertainment to stop you from asking bigger questions. It keeps you in a cycle of working, consuming, and repeating. But what if that cycle is not the only option? What if there's another way to live? One that doesn't require you to slowly give away pieces of your life in exchange for survival? What if you could build a life where your time actually belongs to you? These are not easy questions, and the answers are not simple, but they are worth asking. Imagine waking up naturally, not because an alarm forced you to, but because your body has had enough rest. The first thing you hear is not traffic or notifications, but maybe the sound of birds or the wind moving through the trees outside. You take your time getting up. There's no mental pressure to check your phone or rush anywhere. You step outside and feel the morning air on your skin. You make a simple breakfast with your own hands. Maybe you sit outside while you eat. The light feels different when you're not in a hurry. You can actually taste your food. You can sit in silence without feeling like you're already behind on something. This kind of morning doesn't feel like a luxury reserved for rich people. It feels like the way mornings were supposed to feel. Calm, slow, and completely yours. There's no mental checklist running in the background. There's just you, the moment, and the day ahead. Your days wouldn't be divided into hours you owe to someone else. They would follow a more natural rhythm. You work when you feel like working. You rest when you need to rest. You can spend hours walking through nature without feeling guilty about it. You can sit and think, read, or even do nothing at all without someone measuring your productivity. Maybe you spend time building something with your hands. Maybe you grow food. Maybe you learn skills that actually interest you. Maybe you spend time with people you actually care about. There's no performance review. No one is constantly checking what you're doing or how fast you're doing it. You're not living for someone else's timeline or approval. You're living according to your own rhythm. Some days you might work hard. Other days you might rest. Both are acceptable. Both are part of life. The biggest difference in this life wouldn't be the house, the view, or the things you own. It would be the feeling inside you. That constant low-level anxiety that follows most people through their day, the one that never really turns off, would slowly start to fade. You wouldn't be thinking about what you should be doing every moment. You wouldn't feel guilty for resting. You wouldn't be measuring your day by how much you got done or how productive you were. Your time would finally belong to you. You could sit by the water for an hour without feeling like you're wasting time. You could watch the clouds move without feeling the need to be doing something useful. Because in this life, time isn't something you constantly lose. It's something you actually have control over. This kind of freedom is rare in the modern world. But once you experience it, everything else starts to look different. Evenings wouldn't be about recovering from a hard day at work. They would be about closing the day with peace. You might sit by a fire as the sun goes down. You might watch the stars appear one by one. You might think about your life, not with stress and worry, but with real clarity. There would be space in your mind, space to feel things deeply, space to understand who you really are when no one is watching or expecting anything from you. You could sit in silence without feeling bored or restless. You could think about what actually matters to you. This kind of mental peace is something most people rarely experience. But in this life, it becomes a normal part of your day. This kind of life isn't perfect. It still has challenges. It still requires effort and responsibility. But the nature of those challenges changes. Instead of fighting against constant stress and time pressure, you face challenges that actually feel meaningful. You make decisions based on your own values. You live at a pace that feels human. You have time to think, to feel, and to connect with yourself and with the world around you. This is what real freedom can look like. This kind of life isn't just about escaping work or living in nature. It's about something much deeper. It's about reclaiming ownership over your own time and your own mind. When you escape the system, you stop living according to someone else's schedule and someone else's definition of success. You stop measuring your worth by how busy you are or how much money you make. You start making decisions based on what actually matters to you. Many people fear this kind of life because it looks uncertain from the outside. They think it's too risky. But the truth is, the life most people are already living is also uncertain. The only real difference is that in this version, the uncertainty belongs to you. And with that comes something very rare in today's world: real freedom. Freedom is not just about having money or free time. Freedom is about having control over how you spend your days and what you give your attention to. It's about living in a way that feels aligned with who you are, instead of constantly performing for a system that doesn't care about you. Of course, escaping the system completely in one day is not realistic for most people. But that doesn't mean change is impossible. You can start small. You can begin by questioning the assumptions you've been living with. You can slowly build skills that give you more freedom. You can reduce your dependence on the system step by step. You can create small pockets of freedom in your current life while you work towards something bigger. The important thing is to start asking the right questions. Once you start seeing that another way is possible, it becomes very hard to go back to sleep. The system will always tell you that there is no other way. It will tell you that you need the job, the pressure, and the constant chase. It will make you believe that real freedom is something you can only have later, after you've sacrificed enough of your life. But that's not the full truth. There are people living differently right now, not perfectly, not without challenges, but with a kind of peace and ownership over their time that most people have forgotten is even possible. Your life doesn't have to look like everyone else's. It can look like this. If this vision stayed with you, even for a moment, then maybe it's worth listening to. Maybe it's worth exploring further. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And if you're already thinking about what your life could look like outside the system, you're already further than most people will ever get. Thank you for watching.